Om Shri Nama. Today we will see about some of the questions which our subscribers have asked in the previous video. So the first question, if you see, right, the person have asked about uh, why some of them follows the Vastu in constructing their house, and they were not uh, be able to be as good like others. Okay, so this is one question. And then the same person have mentioned that, in foreign countries, people are rich, but they are not they are not following any of this vastu or anything, but they are very successful and health wise also. So this is really a really good question. And most of us, right, we'll be thinking about these questions, and then we say, see, from the foreign countries, USA, Germany, or any other place, people are earning so much money, so much wealth. Okay, they are being successful, and they have not followed anything. Okay, so when you see about any issue or anything, right, like our human mind will perceive, okay, see that person is so good, so he is so happy. So these are all the things, right, which we will be assuming. Okay, but when we see inside, like when we get to know about that person more and more, okay, we will be finding different informations we will be getting. Okay, so I want you to maybe think of this scenario. Maybe first let's take about the second one. So the second part of the question, that is about how in foreign countries people are not following anything, but then, right, like they are able to live very happily. So if you see here in this whole thing, right, foreign countries, people are living happily, but they are sacrificing something else also. We will not be able to compare the foreign countries lifestyle and the Indian country people lifestyle. Both these lifestyles are completely different. The lifestyle itself, right, completely different. Okay, if you take about the foreign western countries, like they will they might not be together always. Okay, so they their whole lifestyle is completely different. Okay, the relationship between the parent and child itself is completely different. Okay, whom we are marrying, their marital life, married life, and all these things are completely different. Okay, and then, there is no relation between uh, money which we are earning and through uh, see the, the relationship between, right, how a person earns. Okay, all these things we see as a success. But for earning the money, right, the person could have lost their health. Okay, or some other part of the dimension that person would have lost. Okay, those things we will never ever see this. We will not even know about it. Okay, from the outside world, we will be mentioning that, right, that person is having so much wealth, but if you go and see inside, right, the person might be suffering with different things. His mind might not be peaceful. So, and the health, even their relationship, okay, with their family, and all these things are there. So uh, it is not wise to see someone and then we can able to conclude that foreign countries, right, they are not following any of these things and they are living really good. Okay, maybe if you need more questions, right, maybe I can able to answer. The other one, if you see, right, some people, they are saying, people are seeing the vastu and then they are not being successful. That is also one more question. It is not working for them. Basically, as I mentioned in the previous video, right, some vastu guys will be saying that, right, you can keep an bedroom in the northeast. Okay, or some people will say that you can keep the bedroom in the north direction. Okay, but there are some things which you should not do. The bedroom should be only in the southwest. Okay, even if you build the bedroom in the southwest, and if you ask, hey, I have built my bedroom in the southwest, but why I'm not really good? Okay, this is not about one room, it's about the complete area. Okay, so it's not about only the inside the house, outside the house also. So the whole space, right, it will we need to take into consideration about the compound, inside the compound. Okay, so like this, like so many things we have to consider. So we cannot be able to say someone has constructed as per Vastu, because that itself uh, um, currently, right, we cannot able to conclude whether the person whoever is telling to us is really the right Vastu. So that is one of the reason, right, like what I did is that, right, like I went to different peoples and then tried to learn what all the teachings, and then, right, I was able to finally able to conclude, okay, these are all the basics. Okay, at least if we have these things, we can able to live peacefully. Okay, so that is the answer for your question. And the next question, right, I was saying, like people living in villages and town does not look for Vastu, and they are people living happily than people living in proper Vastu based living space. um, to be frank, right, like people in villages definitely see Vastu. Okay, maybe the reason it might we might not able to see is that, right, the thing is, they would build a small house, not a small house, maybe just a ground floor. Okay, they would have keep the bathrooms outside the home. Okay, if you keep the bathroom inside the home, then there are a lot of impacts. And then if you want to keep a bathroom in the right place to keep a bathroom is the northwest. Okay, so we will discuss more about the bathroom and the bedroom and all these areas. But to answer your question, uh, the people in villages are, they look Vastu a lot. Okay, so they are living happily because they are not using any of those tiles which the modern guys are using. Okay, they might be using the cement floor. Okay, they might even use, there are different types of tiles are there. There is a tile called Athangudi tiles. So the Athangudi tile is also one of the good tile which we can able to use. It is directly, it is not, it is completely not with the tiles which vitrified tiles are not like that. It is a separately different tile. So that is also the reason the people in the villages, even if they don't see the Vastu, the basics, what are the basics? Keeping the bathroom outside the house, and then using the cement floor, or a different types of tiles which I mentioned. So that is the reason. And for some people, right, like even if they don't look also, it is working for them because of all these reasons. Okay, there is another question which has come in this one. It's like how this works for the people who lives in the apartment. What in case if the house is constructed as per Vastu and the society is not correct? Any corrections can be done here. Okay, so to answer your question, uh, the Vastu works in a different way for an individual house, and it works different way in an apartment, and it works different way in a villa or a different community kind of house. Okay, maybe I can make a detailed video on each of this. But to answer your question, right, like if the society uh, Vastu is not good. Okay, since you are in the apartment, but if your house is constructed as per Vastu, you will not have much impacts. Okay, so the reason how I'm telling is that, right, like it starts with our body. Okay, if we are keeping us well, okay, by being energized, there are different ways are there, like keeping taking care of your health, the mind. So if you're taking care of the body and mind, right, automatically, right, like even if something is negative around you, it will not impact you as much as possible. Okay, to an extent. Okay, because every day you are into the practice. So similarly, if your society has not been a proper vastu place, but if you're keeping your home well, and if you have built it as per vastu, definitely you can able to live a better life. Okay, but then, right, like uh, one of the question we need to ask is that, right, like we are mentioning here, everyone is mentioning here, the house has been constructed as per vastu, but how much is it real? Is it really they have constructed as per vastu? So that is the question which we wanted to ask. Okay, because many of the builders, they will say, this apartment is an 100% vastu, uh, as per built as per vastu. Okay, so all these things, right, like we are believing it. Okay, just imagine any person. If you take any person in India, okay, at least in India, okay. So what they want to achieve, okay, they go to school, they go to some colleges, and then they earn money for what? And finally they would be having a dream thing to build. They wanted to build a dream house, okay. And finally when they build the house, right, they will be knowing something called vastu, okay. That time they will be asking what is this vastu, okay, because in schools or anywhere they were not aware about it. And many of our society, they all say all these things are superstitious belief. They will say vastu, astrology, it's all superstitious. And then there is a very big fan following for that, okay. But not all these are humbug or whatever it is, okay. But once they build a house by themselves, and then only they will be able to experience it. Unless and until a person experiences it, they will not be able to see or realize what I'm trying to say, okay. Even some people might experience many things, but they wouldn't have realized, okay, all these things are happening because of this. Yes, if your house is not a proper square or rectangle shape, definitely there are some things which is affecting or impacting you or your family in one or the other way, okay. In earlier days and all, right, like people used to stay in a joint family, okay. So father and mother will be having 5 to 6 children, and then everyone will be living in their home and their family. So when a new person comes to your house, the vastu will change. Okay, this is a new information which I'm telling. Um, mm, so there are many things around the whole thought process.